Oldest cartoons in the world. The oldest cartoons predate Steamboat Willie by a few decades, and people were already toying with animating pictures in the mid to late 1800s. Even people from the Paleolithic era attempted to depict motion in their cave drawings. Although there were a few early attempts of animated drawings, the items on this list are considered to be the earliest cartoons. 1. Fantasmagorie. Fantasmagorie is considered to be the oldest cartoon in the world. The very short animation is one of the earliest examples of traditional animation. It was created in 1908 by French cartoonist Émile Cohl. The film depicts a stick figure man moving around and encountering morphing objects such as a wine bottle that turns into a flower. Cohl eventually worked for the French studio Eclair, and in 1912 he came to the US to spread the studio's animation techniques. Fantasmagorie was followed by two more short films created by Cohl, Lee Couchemer, The Fantoche, and Un Drama Chez la Fantoches. 2. Little Nemo. Little Nemo is one of the oldest examples of detailed hand-drawn animation, which looks similar to modern cartoons. It was the first animated film created by famous American cartoonist Winsor McCay, and it features characters from McCay's comic strip Little Nemo in Slumberland. Most of the film's runtime shows Mickey betting his colleagues that he can make 4,000 drawings move, which is then followed by the actual animation. The film was immediately well received after it premiered in 1911, and McCay ended up hand-coloring each of the frames, which were originally black and white for future shows. 3. How a Mosquito Operates. How a Mosquito Operates was the second animated film created by cartoonist Winsor McCay. After the success of his first film Little Nemo, McCay improved his animation techniques and dedicated more time to creating new films. He spent more time developing a more coherent storyline and deeper characterization for this film than in Little Nemo. In addition to being technically better than the other animated shorts of the time period, it is one of the first examples of line-drawn animation. The film features minimal backgrounds and focuses on the characters' actions to tell the story without the use of intertitles, which were commonly used to show dialogue on silent films. 4. Gertie the Dinosaur. Although American cartoonist and animator Winsor McCay created two earlier animated films, Gertie the Dinosaur is his most famous work. It is typically cited as the first example of a true cartoon and was the first to use animation techniques such as registration marks, keyframes, tracing paper, animation loops, and the motoscope action viewer. The film is so important in the history of animation that it is the best preserved of McCay's films, and a copy is housed in the U.S. Library of Congress Film Registry. McCay's film influenced the next generation of animators including Walt Disney, Otto Messmer, Paul Turey, and the Fleischer Brothers. 5. Phil and Follis. Phil and Follis was the first cartoon to feature Felix the Cat, one of the most famous cartoon characters from the silent film era. The creation of Felix has been disputed, and both Pat Sullivan and Otto Messmer are credited as Felix creators. Messmer was an American cartoonist and the lead animator at Sullivan's studio, which produced the Felix cartoons. The first 25 cartoons were shown in theaters and distributed by Paramount Pictures from 1919 to 1921. In the first two cartoons, Phil and Follis and the musical muse, Felix's character is named Master Tom. 6. Alice's Wonderland. Alice's Wonderland, not to be confused with Alice in Wonderland, was the first animated short film produced by Walt Disney. It was the first of several short films in Disney's Alice comedy series. The film was never shown in theaters but was shown to film distributors. It was released as a bonus feature in the special anniversary edition of Alice in Wonderland. The film mixes live action with animation as Alice is played by a young actress named Virginia Davis. After she goes on a tour through Disney's animation studio, she later dreams that she is in cartoon land. 7. The Adventures of Prince Ahmed. The Adventure of Prince Ahmed is the oldest surviving animated feature-length film. Although there were two earlier animated feature films created by Argentinian cartoonist Quirino Cristani, they were accidentally destroyed and are now considered lost. The film features a silhouette animation technique that was created by Lotte Renger, and the original prints of the movie featured color tinting. It took 3 years for Renger and her team to make the film, and each second of the movie features 24 frames. The movie's story is based on the story of Prince Ahmed and the fairy Paribano, and other elements from 1001 Nights. 8. Truly Troubles. Truly Troubles was the first animated short that featured Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, the inspiration for Mickey Mouse. Oswald was created by Walt Disney and Ub Iwerks for Universal Pictures. Although the film was the first Oswald film released to the public, it was the second one produced. Disney and his team finished Poor Papa earlier in 1927, but Universal was unhappy with how the short turned out, and Truly Troubles was released instead. The film was immediately successful, and Universal released a new Oswald cartoon every 2 weeks. It was released on DVD in 2007 in the Walt Disney Treasures volume The Adventures of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. 9. Steamboat Willie. Of all the early cartoons on this list, Steamboat Willie is the most iconic, as it is considered the official debut of Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. The film was the third featuring Mickey to be produced, but the first to be released. It was also the first Disney cartoon with synchronized sound, and the first cartoon ever to feature a fully post-produced soundtrack. The cartoon was an immediate hit with audiences and critics, and its popularity led Disney to reproduce the first 2 Mickey films with sound and release them in theaters. Steamboat Willie is now a part of popular culture and has been referenced numerous times in other animated and non-animated works.